What is going on, guys? Welcome to today's episode. This is the first episode of my new podcast, to be named, to be honest with you. I did a lot of work actually planning this out, but never thought of a name. And I think that is probably pretty indicative of my entire life. But, let's get started. So today we're going to start with some stock prices. Dow Jones had a little bump up today after a week of dropping from 29,000 all the way to a low of about 27,600. With this little bump up, personally, I believe this is going to maybe get a little bit of a that bull run back on track, but let's see. I think a lot of people made money in a lot of places the last couple of weeks, and this correction was overdue, I'd say. S&P 500 rose about 67 points. Dow Jones actually rose 439 points today, if you want to get technical. The Nasdaq rose 293 points. The S&P 600 rose about 8 points, so about a percent on the day. And if we go into the crypto markets today, Bitcoin's currently at 10,387, and seems to have really made that kind of breakout everyone was talking about. Just really a huge drop last week. Actually, absolutely killed me personally, but I'm confident this is an unprecedented run. Some really cool technologies out in this field, and definitely confident in a big time crypto rally moving to next year. Ethereum's currently at 366, up 4% in 24 hours. And finally, we'll look at the price of Ampleforth, which is currently trading at 81.4 cents. Whether you want to buy or not, it's a pretty insane asset, but it doesn't correlate. It's not correlated to anything else, and I think that's it holds a role. It will hold a role moving forward. So now we're gonna move to the weather for Brooklyn. Hourly, so I'm reporting this at 10 p.m. in New York, Brooklyn, obviously. So we're looking at cloudy night on the night, and some scattered thunderstorms. Tonight, kind of looks like it's not going to be the greatest day tomorrow. Pretty rainy. These coronavirus times, maybe the rain is welcome. Let's see what else. So for the weekend, a somewhat cloudy weekend. Some scattered thunderstorms around Sunday. But the cooler times. I think fall is finally coming, and we'll start to see the weather cool down. It's a cool summer in general, but still. And if you look at the 10-day weather, they'll get mild temperatures, the mid 70s, low 80s. Some sunshine next week, middle of the week. Mostly cloudy. So so a little interesting thing. The weather high for the world right now is currently Doha, Qatar. I apologize if I butcher that. 91 degrees out there, which, it's 6 a.m. out there. Looks like it's going to go up to 103 by 10 a.m. Good lord. Yeah. And the low in the country is good old Colorado. Low in the world and the country as well. 39 degrees on September 9th. Good lord. That is so low. I feel for anybody out there. I really do. So that's the low for the world. I know in terms of other weather, obviously, I think a lot of people have seen today in the news the insane wildfires in California. Just unreal. I saw pictures. It was like red. It looked like literal Armageddon. And I heard it was started over a gender reveal, which is gonna cause the media to kind of go a little crazy and talk about banning fucking gender reveals. But I just gotta be careful, man. Like I know there's a video out there, but it looked like somebody was messing with some pyrotechnics and or just weren't being safe, or it was maybe an accident, and now fucking California is on fire. So really hope those firefighters, get that under control and everyone's as safe as possible, and there's not so much damage. In terms of other weather, around the world, very windy in Utah. Um, I mean, around the country, obviously, a lot of, Rona stuff. But, I mean, mild temperatures moving forward, and let's, continue to follow the news and see what's going on. Gonna move into New York sports here. Um, I guess the big news here is probably the Nets hire of Steve Nash and just how much of an idiot Stephen A. Smith is. But I mean, Nash today actually did say that he felt that he had skipped the line in his career. Um, Overpassing other assistant coaches for the Brooklyn Nets head coaching job. Um, but I mean, Stephen A. Smith always has something to say to try to get people riled up and using, this race stuff for just the wrong reasons, I think. And Steve Nash has just always been like class A guy. Like even he was a player. I think any coach at any front office at the time would have snatched him. Like if he could have retired at like 30, 31, and they would have, he could have taken a front office job or a coaching job. And he has experience working for, I believe, he works for Team Canada. He, is around that like business side of sports. He's a sportscaster for Bleacher Report. I know he does like soccer for them, and I mean he has a great relationship with Kevin Durant, and I know he worked a lot with him, and on the Warriors. And I know if you're gonna sign a guy like KD, he's gonna dictate everything, in terms of front office stuff. And Kyrie is another character in himself. But look, I think it's a great hire. I hate the Nets. I am a Knicks fan. Anyone who hears this knows this. But it's wrong. Steve Nash is a stand up guy, smart guy. He's probably already a better coach than Tibbs, and he hasn't even coached the game. But so moving on to the Mets, and moving on to the Mets actually, kind of picking things up a little. I don't think a playoff push is gonna be realistic. I mean, we'll see. They lost today. They lost yesterday to the Orioles. Today they're playing right now, actually. I didn't even know that. It's a tie game, top of the eighth. Anyone who wants to check that out can check that out. Celtics just lost to the Raptors today. They're about to go to Game 7. That should be very, very, very interesting. Yankees, they're struggling, but they're about 500. They are 500, and they're looking to make their playoff push as well, but they're on a 5-game slide and have won one in the last 8. So, like, they got to figure it out. On top of also going back to the Mets, they actually, Selman's actually on the injury reserve list, unfortunately. But see what happens. Let's see what happens moving forward. So next up here, we're gonna move to some, like political news. Not the most fun stuff, but we'll start with the report that the Department of Homeland Security announced that white supremacy was probably going to be the premier threat in the United States moving into next year. They particularly cited, Politico actually got this article, and if you check out the article itself, which I will pull up because it's my first time doing this and, unprepared. So Politico is reporting that The Department of Homeland Security is drafting a document stating, and basically the idea is that white supremacists are the greatest terror threat in the United States. Um, this is a draft of a larger report that will be coming out either later this year or maybe even going into next year. But because of actually everything going on in the world with the virus, foreign terrorist organizations um, look like they're going to be having trouble really doing their work, I guess, if you want to call it that, here in the United States. Um, but I mean, with everything, yeah, everyone's kind of screwed. If you're a terrorist, kind of tough to do anything right now, and all the borders are closed and everything's all over the world, acting kind of crazy. But um, yeah. Also, just wants to mention that threats from Antifa and left-leaning agitators, um, while they have been described as domestic terrorists, the drafts have not referred to them in the same urgency as they have in terms of what white supremacists have already done domestically here in the United States and what it looks like is going to be happening moving forward, even going, especially probably going into the 2021. Um, I think regardless of whether Trump wins or not, um, let's see. I mean, let's see. It's gonna be something wild moving forward. Um, Also, some pretty big news on the day. Um, Trump, in an interview with Bob Woodward, um, on March 19th, he talks about deliberately minimizing the danger of the coronavirus, and that he actually knew for months um, that this was kind of dangerous. I mean, he really downplayed it. Seems like a tired story, honestly, at this point. Like, it seems like we already knew, like, clearly, like, knew it was bad, and then, like, downplayed it here and there, and, like even wore a mask once, and, I mean, just silly. It's silliness. A lot of things could have changed if he had just been honest from the get-go, and, I don't know, wasn't just thinking about his election chances. But it's sad, man. A lot of people died, and you can see in the interview, he's making a lot of these comments, like, very like days, like within days of just saying the opposite, and I don't know, sad. It is what it is. I recommend everyone really look into this. Just kind of adds to it. I guess if you're gonna vote for him, you're gonna vote for him. If not, then you're not. I mean, he's held to about a 41% like approval rating. Maybe jump to 39. It's been kind of like there. Still, it's kind of, you have to ask if you're really taking anybody from him at this point, and like what could possibly leak. I was talking to someone today. I was saying that the next 54 days, I think, until the election, gonna be the most like insane news cycle in American history, possibly. Like, I don't know, man. All right. Uh, of course, the AstraZeneca. They were testing a coronavirus vaccine. They had to pause it because someone had a neurological response to it. But I saw an interview with some people taking the test, and they talked a lot about the importance of the vaccine, and just like it could really just bring everyone's life to normal, and you do have to be careful and go through every right, um I guess you have to do everything the right way, right? You have to go through all the phases properly, test everything correctly, and I know our leaders all our medical leaders all said they were going to be doing that, and we're going to stick to the way things will run. But interesting to see that. Interesting to follow the coronavirus vaccine news. I feel like we're gonna almost like become. We're gonna make. I feel like we're just gonna make so many adjustments in our lives that like by the time there's a vaccine, like no one will have it. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. And see what else. Oh yeah, Justice Department wants to take over which a personal like Trump case about a woman who's claims that he raped her. Very weird. I know Bill Barr referenced an obscure doctrine that allowed him to do this, but like I mean, look, like you could be mad about it. Obviously like it's terrible, but it's tiring. It's tiring. Uh, it's all like this is like the stuff that just happens now, and you see interviews about it. They'll ask him to say like, "Do you feel corrupt about it?" And he's just gonna say, no. And I mean, it's just better to just note that this happened and do what you can in the polls. UPS said it'll be hiring about 100,000 seasonal workers to handle more packages, and also comes with news that Home Depot is doing a 2 month Black Friday sale. Uh, and it looks like other companies will also be following suit. And we'll see how it goes. Um, and let's get to some local New York City news. This is really what I was excited for. Cause this place is crazy, man. Let's see what happens. Some pretty good news. A former New York City gynecologist who was accused of sexually abusing patients. Famously, Andrew Yang's wife was one of his patients. Is looking at federal charges. Apparently, dozens of patients have come forward, and he was arrested this morning in his home, New Jersey. And he apparently, the new indictment charges him with abusing 5 women and 1 minor who crossed lines to state lines to see him. That's disgusting. He used the cover of conducting medical exams to engage in sexual abuse that he passed up as normal and medically necessary, said Aubrey Strauss, acting U.S. Attorney for the Southern District. Once the Southern District gets involved, you're fucked. The allegations set forth the incident so that Haddon acted as a predator in a white coat. Yeah, he did. Good to see that, Good to see some justice, man. Too many hashtags. It's nice to see these people go to jail. This guy's a real piece of shit. Let's see what else I got. 2 New York City teachers tested positive for COVID-19. Looking to be some walkouts moving forward. 2 schools in Brooklyn, PS1 and MS88. Both had teachers who had COVID. It's really early in the year. They're very, very early in the year. They're asymptomatic. They're quarantining, of course. They said that other school staff are walking out. Man, it's a shame because I was reading something today that some of the smartest people in the world work as teachers around the country. Some of the smartest people in the world are teachers in other places in the world, and here in America, you just don't have that, and they don't get paid at all. They get paid such crap. Why do they want to deal with it? I guess besides beyond the insurance, honestly, why would they want to deal with this crap? They don't want to get sick. They're being a student is so hard. Parents are awful. They don't do I don't want to speak for all parents, but so much stuff doesn't get done before the kids even enter the classroom that teachers are they throw it on teachers, and teachers are really normal, really normal in America, and aren't necessarily going to be trained to be able to handle a mentally ill student, or handling a classroom to make sure it's exactly clean to the way that whoever the government or whoever a medical expert might claim a clean classroom. So I don't know. I hope that if this is some I would say like a handful of things that really need to change moving forward. Definitely some kind of real school reform. Um, like just like a prison reform without a doubt. Like let's just get a lot of people out of jail, especially non-violent offenders. And um, I mean like it's off the top of the two things that would just seriously help. Just get some good teachers out there, man. Like get some like good teachers. Start paying them more. Make them want to be there, right? Like yeah, and like it just be better. It just be better for everyone, even when this is all over. We're gonna be seeing strikes soon. I'm pretty sure. Indoor dining here in New York can resume September 30th, 25% capacity. Coming off of the heels of a major lawsuit by about I think 150,000 restaurants in New York. Um, and yeah, I mean he's trying. I mean he's trying. I have a lot of beef for this guy, but I get like why he really pushed it. He doesn't want to deal with this crap, dude. Like how many people were dying, man? It was 9/11 every day. This is hell. So I don't know. A lot of problems with Pomo. Uh, a lot of problems with him. A lot of politics, always New York politics. But hey, good to see dining come back. Hope everyone's safe. Hope no one gets sick. Let's see what else we got here. If we go back to teachers, teachers union said they were gonna threaten to sue the state over a 20% cut. Look at that, 20% slash in aid to school districts. I mean, I get why, because the fucking government, like the whole, everything collapsed. But like, I don't know. Like, this is why I wouldn't want to be a teacher. Like, why? Why do you want to be a teacher in America? This is hell. Um. So yeah. So now they're suing, saying that due to cuts, uh, that students won't be getting a sound basic education as required in the state constitution. Um, I mean, they felt, that this violates students' right to a decent education. I personally have to look into this more. Um, Basically, they're saying that the poorest 10% of school districts receives 80% of funding from the state. The richest 10% of districts receive 10% of funding from the state. So if the cuts go into effect, the poorest 10% will lose $847 million in state money, about $3,800 per student. Richest 10% will lose $42 million, or about $458 per student. Wow, that's pretty wild. I mean, they're looking to make cuts. 9,000 layoffs are threatened last month if the cuts go through. Albany, 220 people would be laid off. 17 teachers in Norwich laid off. 57 staffers cut in Copygu. I really butchered that. But it's it's wild. They're looking at Union wants lawmakers to pass the Federal Heroes Act to provide stimulus funding for public education and other public services. But it is like, we are right at the brink here. We gotta figure it out. Kind of funny thing. I have a little somewhat personal connection to the FDNY. But they renamed the Tyrus Award for 9/11 hero due to deeply racist beliefs of the original namesake. Reported by Patch. By the way, the last 3 articles were all Patch articles. I'm getting these from. But they're gonna be renaming it to the Peter J. Ganshi Award. He was the highest-ranking member of FDNY to give his life on 9/11. So this is actually my CBS article. It was originally named for a guy named James Gordon Bennett, who expressed full support of slavery in the New York Herald. Oh, didn't know that. 150 years. That was named. This award was named after him, and then they changed it. This is a tutorial the last couple years. They changed it. They didn't change. They finally realized that I guess people started looking back at everybody and they're realizing just so many people were racist. But, I mean that's good. I've heard rumors about the FDNY and public service and who they support and stuff, and I'll see. So yeah, NYPD said gun arrests are way up, but violence was the same over Labor Day weekend. Looking year over year, um, 4 people died and 24 people wounded. Sad stuff, but record number of gun arrests. I don't know. Violence, a lot of violence. The '70s was something else, but I don't think this is gonna be anything like the '70s. But um, sad stuff, man. Please stop shooting each other. That's all I gotta say. Um, and another resignation at City Hall today. Um, I guess like someone left the department. Bill de Blasio's administration. My apologies. And yeah. It was the person to resign was Dr. Raul Pereira Henze, Deputy Mayor for Health and Human Services. They feel, I don't know, they very much. So thank you. And that was that. Sanitation Commissioner Karen Garcia also announced that she'd be leaving the administration. And yeah, it just really shows they people don't like De Blasio, sadly. I don't know. Is what it is. And yeah, I think that's about it. I'll admit, first time, a little sloppy, but fun time. If you do listen all the way through, I thank you. Really probably hurt your ears a tad, or maybe you liked it and you listen again. So bless up, love and respect. Stay safe out there. Good night, New York.